What's up YouTube, Cowboys here back in another video where we talk about cards, money, investing. Before we get into today's video, today is Spider-Man Metal release day. So on YouTube, on social media, you're going to see lots and lots of content of box breaks, hits and all of those glories. But unfortunately, I don't have a box to rip. So instead, I'm going to talk about my friend Steve Aoki, who spent about $40,000 picking up a 2015 Marvel Jambalaya set, fully graded by BGS. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in more detail, so stick around. Alright, welcome back. So everyone pretty much know who Steve Aoki is, right? Aside from being a well-known celebrity, he's actually a huge Marvel fan and he has amassed tons and tons of cards, right? He loves putting sets together, grade them, and I believe he has a complete set of the 2015 PMG Red, and I think maybe he's close to completing the 2015 PMG Blue as well. And amongst others, he has lots and lots of sets, and in the past I've actually helped him to hunt down certain pieces for his collection. But today we're going to talk about Steve splashing out about more than $40,000, right, on this 2015 Marvel Jambalaya set, which was listed on Probstein auctions on eBay. Now, I've talked a lot about Jambalayas in the past because I personally am a collector of these Jambalayas 2015 as well, because I've got some examples here, right, like this Doctor Strange, I've got this Venom, as well as Deadpool here, right? So sorry for the glare on that one, but I love these Jambalayas and these colors on these cards as well. So when these listings actually pop up on eBay, I was pretty excited because there were a certain number of pieces that was missing. I was actually hoping to acquire those pieces and to add them to my collection, but of course at a certain price as well, because given the situation on what's happening around us, I wouldn't really want to like go all out and overpay for certain cards. But fast forwarding to the end of the auction, right, I didn't win a single card, right, as I was outbidded by the same bidder on every single card that I put in, right? And then later on found out that that particular bidder was none other than Steve Aoki, and I hit him up with a DM on IG, which you can see here, and he later confirmed that it was actually him. Now I went out, okay, fine, I was never going to win this auction anyway if Steve was going to bid. As you can tell, right, he probably put a number that's perhaps is just ungodly to some of us. But Steve actually and we do have good conversations about Marvel, and he did ask me, did he made up good in the end with his overall, what he paid for all the list of cards. So I dived in, tabulated everything, and in today's video, I thought I wanted to share with you guys on all the stuff that he paid for and what I think about all the prices as well. Alright, so let's have a look at this spreadsheet here, right? So you can see here there are 21 cards in the total Jambalaya set, and the total price they paid here was $41,517.81, okay? And the stuff that's highlighted in yellow here, those are the ones that's gem mint BGS 9.5. Now, one thing you will notice in all these listings is none of these BGS slabs are with subgrades. So these are just all the slabs that's gone in without subgrades, but you can tell that out of 21 cards here, there are 16 cards that was graded with Gem Mint 9.5, and the other 5 cards were graded at Mint 9. Okay, so did this affect some of the bigger cards, particularly Iron Man and Venom, but we're going to talk about the prices individually. So you can look here, Spider-Man went for $9,000, Wolverine $5,700, that's Captain America, that's $4,500, and then there's Iron Man, Deadpool, and so on and so forth, right? So you can actually look down this particular listing here. So what do I think about all these prices in general, right? So with the 2015 Jambalayas, I actually break them down into 3 separate buckets here. There would be the top cream stuff, the good stuff at the top, which is about 6 cards. There's what I call the middle tier, which is another 6 cards, and the bottom tier, the remaining that will be 9 cards remaining, okay? And it just so happened that when the prices kind of like landed out here, it kind of like fall within that 3 buckets of category, which is actually to my expectation. It just so happens to be that way, but this is what actually the result I would expect to see. Although some of the prices over here, it's a bit higher or plus minus on some of them, but it's good to know that they are falling within the buckets that I actually anticipated. So we're going to look at from the bottom up. Okay, so looking down at the bottom 9 characters here, you can see here, starting from Daredevil onwards down to Elektra. Daredevil went for $621 and Elektra went as low as $255. Now for these, I would say graded 9 or 9.5, the bottom half or the bottom third would perhaps fetch roughly between, in my estimation, between the $300 to $600 kind of range. So on average, about, let's say about $500 each. So where this has landed, $621 for Daredevil, you have Loki at $587. We have Red Skull, BGS 9 at $480, and Elektra only at $255. And probably Elektra is probably, with Iceman, probably the 2 weakest cards in this whole set. Ending pretty low. But on average, right, I think this is a pretty much spot on around there. At $500 average per piece. Now, when I was picking up these in earlier this year, I definitely paid more than $500 on these ones. I was picking up PSA 9 slabs, which are incomparable to the BGS 9.5 in this case without subgrades as well. Maybe slightly a tick better, but I paid certainly a lot more in terms of my cost base for these lower level characters. So let's now move on to the second tier, right? You have next tier from the Hulk that's sold for $2,000 and down to Scarlet Witch for about $1,025. Most of them were all in the BGS 9.5 gem mint, except for the Doctor Strange that closed for $1,100. Now, these, the outlier here would be the Magneto, I think, right? I would assume that they would average roughly around between the $1,000 to $2,000 range as well. Okay, $1,500 on average, in my opinion, which is you can tell here it land pretty much there. Maybe some of them like Thanos or on the lower side. I would assume that they would have gone slightly higher. I would say like 13, 14 maybe. Okay, and Hulk went pretty high at like $2,000. So I think that Hulk was also roughly around that band, 13, 14. Magneto is a real outlier here, $1,800. Is because I myself personally put a bit on it. I value the Magneto roughly about like $1,500. So, but because I seriously wanted to win this particular Magneto, so I had gone in of full strength in a sense, at $1,800 and didn't even have a chance at all, right? So even if I put like $2,000 in, I was never going to win this particular auction. Okay, so then we come to the top tier, right? The top 6 characters that you have in the set. From Spider-Man, you have Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, Deadpool, and Venom. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom. So in this case, Venom, BGS 9, right? So I have a Venom here that's in PSA 9. As you can see the glare. Cool. So this PSA 9 I acquired from PWCC fixed price marketplace for about $1,500, and I think that there was one BGS 9, was it? I think it was a BGS 9 that sold subsequently, or we say PSA 8, if I'm not mistaken, right? That sold subsequently for about $1,800. So this ended at $2,500 now. I think that it's a bit high, on the higher side a bit for a BGS 9, but there are lots and lots of Venom collectors out there who just want to add this rare piece of Jambalaya to their collection. It is rumored, or in fact, I'm not sure whether or not it's confirmed, there's roughly less than 50 copies of each of these Jambalayas available. So they are pretty rare, and I do know that there are a lot of Venom collectors out there. So these top 6 characters here, they are in... People pay a lot of premium for them because they are hard to get, and it becomes one of the important pieces in their PC. Okay, so moving up, we got Deadpool here, 9.5, $3,000. I think that's quite a fair amount. That's what I would assess the Deadpool at, roughly about like $3,000. Iron Man. Now, there was a raw Iron Man that sold during the highs of this Marvel Jambalaya back in early of 2022 for $4,000, which I actually couldn't get to that stage of paying $4,000 for raw Jambalaya Iron Man, right? So this ending at BGS 9 at $3,800, which is about comparison to the high, but in my opinion it is high because this is literally paying the peak prices back in early of 2022. My personal assessment, this would roughly be about a $2,600 card. So this one I didn't go all out, and clearly so somebody tried to add this to their collection because Iron Man is one of those popular characters, but obviously got outbid by Steve in the end. Okay, next up, moving up to Captain America, again another huge popular character. This one was definitely on really hard chase for this. $4,500 is a big dollar for this Captain America. My personal assessment is about $3,500, $3,600 maximum for Captain America. In this case, somebody wanted a bit more, but Steve Aoki just took them all out at $4,550. Okay, next one, Wolverine. Okay, so I know a couple of people who has these Wolverines. So these Wolverines are surprisingly known. All right, I can see multiple copies held by different people, compared to some of these that I rarely see people showing around their Daredevil, or Deadpool. I know only a handful of people holding Deadpools, right? But Wolverines are more common than I actually thought. So this one here, the valuation at BGS 9.5 to me was about $5,000. And I was prepared to go up a bit higher, up to like $5,500 kind of range, but again, it closed at $5,700. And the last one, Spider-Man, right, the biggest one. So this one is a tough one to find. There was one on eBay that was listed for $125,000. Like, that was just putting out for fun. I actually knew who the seller was. He just wanted to list it for fun, and then before taking it down, and then he actually sold it. And this is a confirmed paid amount for $22,000. Lots and lots of money for that card, and that was in the PSA 9, and it's a pop 1. Okay, so huge amount paid for that particular Spider-Man. This one here, $9,000 at the end of the day. Okay, does this mean that Steve got a deal? Maybe, but okay, but in the first place, that $22,000, I think I wouldn't have valued that Spider-Man PSA 9 at $22,000. To me, perhaps on the high side, if I really want to go out for that Spider-Man, I would have gone for maybe 15, 14, roughly about there. A PSA 9 2013 Jambalaya closed on Goldin just over the weekend for about $21,000 as well, and that's even rare. That's a pop 1 as well. So that's even a nicer Spider-Man compared to this 2015 one. So Steve paying $9,000, I had a valuation just under 10. It's not that I didn't want to pay $10,000 or $11,000. It's just a lot of money to me personally, right? I just didn't want to invest so much capital, even though I knew that this Spider-Man was going to be worth it. In the sense, I checked some of the card condition on the back. It looked like it was a genuine, perhaps a PSA 9 worthy card as well. But it's just a lot of money to shell out for a Spider-Man card, just personally for me. But I definitely think that Steve got a good deal out of it. I think some of you might agree that the Spider-Man is worth it at $9,000 given that high dollar amount. So in totality, Steve paid $41,000 at $41,517 to be exact. Okay, my personal assessment based on what I calculated earlier comes up to about like $38,000. So Steve is not far off. He just paid a slight premium over it, but perhaps he actually put a large number on top of each of these listings and basically priced everybody out, including myself. So I did have a chuckle with Steve on this. Kind of like made him pay more on some of the stuff, especially Magneto, right? I don't think anybody would have paid $1,800 for Magneto. He probably could have gotten it for much lesser, perhaps maybe even like 14 or 12, maybe for that matter, right? But I wanted a Magneto quite badly as well, and made him pay a bit more money. It's all good. It's all fair and friendly bidding on this thing. We all have our own valuations to price certain cards. I price it a certain way. Steve obviously value all these cards. I love these cards a lot more, so I'm pretty much okay with that. So, end of the day, despite setting perhaps an unlimited number, right, what Steve in the end didn't really steal off the total valuations, right? 41 versus 38 is what I mentioned, at least in my opinion. But some of you might just say, for that money, you can be better off doing something else. For sure, of course, right? We're talking about people here spending that $41,000. People like Steve really enjoy Marvel cards, and has the means, right? And likely they just want to put together something that they love. I feel very happy for Steve for putting together this set, but at the same time for myself, it's a bit bittersweet. But that means the chase continues. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Do like and subscribe for more content in the future. All the best to those who are still cracking Spider-Man metal today. Till the next one, Kapos out.